this.
Well, I would say that my identity has always been a problem for most people. They're constantly trying to change it. When I was born, the nuns in the hospital thought they were doing my parents a favor by classifying me as white. Then my mother got deported just after I was born and took me to Cuba with her, where everyone saw me as a mulatica clarita. Well, my parents tried to raise me without a sense of race, but that was unrealistic. My abuela, who came to live with us in 1963, she was happy that I was light enough for her to call me La Princesa Francesa.
The French princess, you mean?
My mother was the first person from her family to emigrate, and she didn't know when she left that the rest of them were going to want to come. But when the revolution started in 1959, my family was not an upper-class family in Cuba. They were really kind of lower middle class. My grandmother was a seamstress. But I think that what happened with my grandmother was because she made nice dresses for wealthy women, she was losing her clients. So around, I think in 1963, she was able to leave with my mother's youngest sister. So they were the first ones to come, and every time some part of the family would come, they would stay with us for a period of time. Every year or two, more relatives were coming in, plus, friends of my mother's and, more big cousins and great aunts and all, they were all coming. So the house was always full of these Cubans coming, and I was the English teacher for all the kids, right? So we would make up these games to teach my cousins how to speak English really quickly, where, they would have to run around and they couldn't sit down until they could say the word for chair, or, they couldn't have anything to eat until they could say the names of the food in English. And we just, grew up making these games to teach English and exchange language through the games. When you're a child, you don't want to feel different. So I didn't really think that much about it when I was a kid, except that, this is what I have to do, and these are the people in my house, and this is my family. But it was later on that I realized that how much I had learned from that experience, and also how much I internalized of the cultural beliefs of the period, because I really did believe as a child that I was superior because I spoke English. I really did all the things that later I was, as an adult, to begin to become critical about the chauvinistic attitudes of Americans, about the kind of monocultural attitudes of Americans and all that. How did I know it? Because I had felt it as a child.